in around 2021, I started getting really into collecting physical media, DVDs, Blu-rays, and 4Ks. Since then, I've gathered like 700, somewhere around there, DVDs, and I wanted to display them. So I'm just gonna do the 4Ks and the Blu-rays because I have too many DVDs. So I wanted to start with the Criterions because they are probably the best thing I own. I haven't actually seen this one yet, but I'm going to. I got this one for Christmas. So yeah. These are like 5 or 6 Martin Scorsese shorts. I've seen most of them. Italian American is a documentary about Martin Scorsese's parents. They're like between 10 minutes and an hour long each. They are so good. I would recommend those. I've also got The Irishman from Martin Scorsese. It's probably, besides Taxi Driver, the best Martin Scorsese film, but I feel like it's kind of underrated. People don't really talk about it. It's very long, like, I think it's like 3 hours long. It's, again, besides Taxi Driver, probably my personal favorite Robert De Niro performance. You've also got Al Pacino and like Joe Pesci, who I think came out of retirement for this film, which is not surprising for Martin Scorsese. I also got Multiple Maniacs, which I also haven't seen. I haven't seen quite a few of my collection. Starring Divine though, which is interesting. But yeah, I will watch that. A Brighter Summer Day. I haven't seen this one either, but I do like the director Edward Yang. 236 minutes is a very long film, but I watched that. 12 Angry Men is one of the greatest films of all time. It is easily in my top 5. It's my 4th on Letterboxd. It was one of the first, like, old black and white films I ever saw that got me into film. It's just 12 men in a room talking, and it's awesome. It's amazing. I recommend this to so many people, but because it is just an hour and a half of 12 men talking in a room, it's kind of hard to recommend. But I've also got, I'll loop these ones together. I've got 3 Wes Anderson films. The Royal Tenenbaums is just a perfect film. It is the best Wes Anderson film, in my opinion. I really like films about like family. So this one is just like the perfect film. It is the perfect Wes Anderson film. It's the perfect comedy, even though it's sad. Well, that's all of Wes Anderson's films. The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou is very good. It is great, but it has been a while since I've seen it. I remember I really liked Willem Dafoe in this film, and Jeff Goldblum as well. I know Bill Murray's in it, but I mean, Bill Murray kind of does the same thing in every movie. I haven't seen the Darjeeling Limited yet, but it is supposed to be pretty good. I've heard it's like not one of his best, but Wes Anderson doesn't even have that many films, so one of his best is kind of like a vague statement. Okay, so away from Criterions, I've got A Clockwork Orange, which is, I mean, it's Stanley Kubrick's best film. It is interesting to watch. I mean, it's like rough, it's hard to watch, but it is amazing. And the singing in the rain scene in that film is incredible. Okay, we've got quite a few Arrow video films. Videodrome is the best horror film I've ever seen, but not because it's a horror film. I have such like a personal connection to this film. David Cronenberg's best film. Not that there's much competition, but I think Videodrome is just perfect. It is very experimental and like just weird, but it is great and it is so worth it. I got this one because it just has such an interesting name and like cover art. I think it cost me like 20 quid, but I haven't actually seen it yet. But it just looks so interesting, right? I will watch that at some point. The Righteous. I haven't seen this one either, but every time I see it on my shelf, it looks like The Lighthouse, which is an amazing film. So I'm gonna go on a whim and say this is an amazing film as well. Old Boy is actually a perfect film. Like, the plot twist in this film though is it's something. Like, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's the strangest plot twist I've ever seen in a film. Oh, this film has the best fight scene of all time. The hallway scene is incredible. It's like one long shot of a fight scene down a hallway with no cuts. It is, yeah. The Holy Mountain. I can't even like talk about this movie because I don't understand it. I saw it and I watched it, but I can't tell you anything about it. It was good. It's silent, kinda like there is noises and stuff, but no one speaks in it. I can't even like I have nothing to say about that. I have Dune, but the David Lynch one from the 80s. I love this film. It's so campy and stupid. But apparently, I'm in the minority. Apparently, people don't love this film so much. I thought it was. I mean, it was like long, but it's. Dune has like 20 books, right? And they're so confusing. I have a Arrow Steelbook, Blade of the Immortal. I haven't seen this one either, but I saw it in like CEX for quite cheap. So I got it. And I haven't seen it, so I can't talk about it. Okay. This is one of the best things I own. Inglourious Bastards is easily Tarantino's best film, in my opinion. I don't know if that's controversial. I don't think it's controversial. People say it's Pulp Fiction, but I disagree. This massive box, it came with so much stuff. I'm not going to unpack it all, but like 2 steelbooks, a poster, like a bunch of photo cards that I have on my wall. So cool. The art on the back as well of like the cinema at the end. Wow. Okay. Honey Boy is the okay, maybe not the most underrated film of all time, but it is so underrated. It is perfect. It's Shia LaBeouf wrote it and stars in it, but he plays the character who's supposed to represent his dad in real life. It's just so like emotionally powerful. That film is something. I've also got Pulp Fiction, which is like, it's so good and I love it, and it's 5 stars easy. But I feel like it's been tainted by Film Bros. I'm not gonna get out all the photo cards and stuff that came in this, but this little pop-up thing is awesome. This poster, by the way, is so good. It's like one of the best posters of all time. The quote from Samuel L. Jackson, the Bible quote, Ezekiel, is like one of my favorite movie quotes of all time. The scene where they're getting shot and all the bullets miss them and they just like look around like nothing happened, that is peak cinema. That is I'll put these together. I have the 4K of whoever the director was, David Gordon Green or something, the newer Halloween, and I have the steelbook of Halloween Ends. I haven't seen Halloween Ends because I just love the original 1978 Halloween so much that whenever I want to watch Halloween, I just go back to that one, the John Carpenter one. So I never end up watching the newer ones because the old ones are so good. They Live is John Carpenter's most underrated movie. People don't talk about it. And like, I guess it's a horror film, but it is a push to call it a horror film. It is not scary at all. This came with like a bunch of photo cards, but most of them are on my wall. And something like interesting about this is that it came with a soundtrack, which like no movies come with soundtracks now, but they should. Like if you get like a box set, if you're paying the extra fucking 40 quid for a movie, then they should come with all that shit. I also have Tenet, which is the worst Christopher Nolan film. I don't like this movie. I don't like it at all. I can't even tell you what I don't like about it. Like, I love, I think it's David Washington's performance in it, and I love Robert Pattinson's performance in it. Michael Caine, even though he's in like one scene. I love that film, but no, I don't love that film, sorry. I love those actors. But that film, the title as well, like Christopher Nolan was like, oh, we're making like a weird time warpy movie, let's make the title the same backwards and forwards. Like, that's so pretentious. I don't like that movie at all. Oppenheimer, though, I was going to say it's Christopher Nolan's best, but it is not Christopher Nolan's best. It is a great film, though. It kind of got, in my opinion, undermined by the whole Barbenheimer thing. Like, I feel like when people think about this film, they think of that, which was fun. Like, it was cool at the time, but it's been and gone now. Stop thinking about Barbie. It was a great film. Oppenheimer, though, this deserved Best Picture so bad. It was so good. I don't think it should have won Best Picture because Killers of the Flower Moon came out that year. But whatever. I have the Steelbook for Joker 2019, which I know people talk a lot of shit about this film, but it is one of the best films of all time. I know someone who just like hates this film. It's like their least favorite film. It's so good. This scene is one of the best scenes ever. I will defend this movie with my life. And talking about defending movies with my life, I also have Joker 2, which, oh, don't. I understand that it wasn't the first one, like, it was nothing like the first one, but it is still an amazing film, and it's an amazing musical as well. I don't understand why people didn't like the musical numbers. They were so good, and they worked with the movie as well. Like, it was all in his head. Oh, that film. Okay, I have quite the collection here. I have the steelbook for the Tim Burton, Michael Keaton Batman movie. Jack Nicholson as the Joker is so underrated. Like, he's not my favorite or second favorite, but he's up there. Like, people don't talk about him that much. They talk about Heath Ledger, Joaquin Phoenix. But this film, people don't talk about how Batman just murders the Joker at the end. Like, he has no role in this movie without killing people. He just does it. And then I also have the steelbook for Batman Returns, which is the best Christmas movie of all time. Danny DeVito's Penguin is amazing. I really like the cover art for these two as well. Like, just the silhouettes. You can barely see the the first one, but okay. I also have a box set, a 4K of Batman Forever, which came with a bunch of like photo cards, pictures, some stuff about the film. I will defend this film with my life. This film. It's goofy, but it's amazing, right? Like, I feel like too many people don't like if a film is just fun, they're like, it's bad, but it's not. Look at Jim Carrey as the Riddler. I'm not going to talk about Two-Face in that movie, but look at Jim Carrey as the Riddler. But I will not defend Batman and Robin because it is not. This film, I think it actually like took years off my life. It's so boring. The only good part is Arnold Schwarzenegger making the worst jokes ever. That scene where he's like icing them out and he's like, "What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age." No. Who wrote this? But then Batman Begins, so underrated. Like, I don't want to say it's the most underrated Batman movie because the 60s Batman movie, which I have on VHS, is so peak. But Batman Begins is amazing. I think people don't talk about it enough. I also think people don't talk about The Dark Knight Rises enough because this is my favorite Batman movie. And people don't like it. Like, people say it's slow, which it is slow. But that doesn't mean it's bad. This movie is perfect. This is... Ooh. Dare I say Christopher Nolan's best film? I don't know. Maybe. But yes, the Batman collection and the two Jokers of Steelbooks, some of my favorite stuff I own. Now, just because I was talking about Christopher Nolan's best film, I will pull out this. This is the best thing I own. It's so fancy. I don't know why it comes in a box, but Interstellar is the reason I am into film. Like, it kickstarted my passion. I don't want to unbox all of this because, like, there's a lot. But wow. Patches, like, It came with 5 posters, which I'm not gonna do like a room tour, but they're all on my wall because I love this film so much. No, I would say this is Christopher Nolan's best film. Actually, I love Dark Knight Rises, but I can't say anything about Interstellar. I saw that film in the cinema and I cried like a baby. It was perfect. And I don't know where I would be without that film. I don't know if I'd be so into cinema, to be honest. That and like Little Miss Sunshine, which I don't own, and I know it's quite the contrast, but they are the reason I'm so into film. This is another reason, actually. The Fabelmans, the best Spielberg film. And I know people say like Jurassic Park, or fucking Jaws. It's The Fabelmans, because this is the only one that you can emotionally connect to, in my opinion. This is the one that I most empathize with. Like, this is the only one I feel for. It's just about Steven Spielberg, like, getting into film and making movies, and his parents, like, affair. Paul Dano in this film, and in every film he's ever been in, is the best part. Paul Dano is the best part of life. Where would we be without Paul Dano? Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I had War of the Planet of the Apes on Steelbook, but I don't anymore because I stood on it. But Dawn, those films, all 3 of them are 5 stars. I can't decide which one's my favorite between Dawn and War. But this one was really like... This one shocked me with how amazing the CGI was. Like in the first one, the first one's, the CGI is amazing, but you can tell that it's Andy Serkis. Like, you can see Andy Serkis's face on Caesars. This one, oh, wow. Wow. A Quiet Place. I've never seen A Quiet Place, so I can't really talk about it. But I saw the prequel that came out this year, A Quiet Place Day One, and I thought that was amazing. So I'm sure that one is as well. Okay, this next pile is like, it's embarrassing how little of them I've seen, but I'll go through them. District 9, I have seen this one, is so underrated. It's like, it's experimental in a way, because the first, I don't know, like 40 minutes are like a documentary, like it's real, but the rest of it is just like this Cronenberg body horror of this guy turning into a shrimp, and it's awesome. I love that film. That was another film I watched when I was getting into films. I don't know why I'm into film. Devil's Double? No clue. Never seen it. I don't remember buying it. But I own it. So... Not only do I own the, like, most of the Batmans on Steelbook, I also own the Dark Knight trilogy, and I also own the Dark Knight trilogy. I don't know why. I also own them all on DVD as well, but... Yeah. I've already talked about these films, but they're amazing. The Dark Knight Rises is the best Batman film, and one of the best films of all time. The Dark Knight is great, a little bit overrated, in my opinion. I saw them all at the cinema at the same time, like a back-to-back thing. Right. Best cinema experience, I think. Conjuring 2, I can't talk about this one, I hadn't seen it. I've seen The Conjuring 1 and I saw Annabelle, and I liked them. I have no urge to watch any more Conjuring movies. They were kind of dumb. Conan the Barbarian. Again, not seen it. I read like at least one Conan comic. I should do like some comic book videos because I have a lot of those as well. Nicolas Cage, Color Out of Space. Wow. This film, I don't want to say it's like, no, it's definitely not the best Nicolas Cage performance. Vampire's Kiss is the best Nicolas Cage performance, but he is great in every film he has ever been in. The girl who played with fire, no clue, no idea. Who directed this? Daniel Alfredson. I'll watch it at some point. The Great Gatsby. I had this film 4 times at one point. This was my favorite film. Like when I'd only watched like 100 films on my books. It's peak. Like it's good. It's great. But favorite film? What was I on? Like what was I watching when this was the best film of all time to me? I have it on 3D. Like why? I don't even have 3D glasses. The Green Hornet. I've not seen. Seth Rogen. People say it's awful. There you go. This one. Green Lantern. Even the worst crime that this movie has committed is giving me a green Blu-ray case. I don't want to own this, but I don't want to throw it away either. Ooh, okay. I have really strong opinions about Marvel movies, but Guardians of the Galaxy, all 4 of them, including the holiday special, is like they're all great. They are the only ones that I will like actively rewatch and have a good time, apart from the X-Men movies. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. I love James Gunn. I love the soundtrack. I love every character. So good. Green Zone. I've heard this film's okay. I love Matt Damon. Damon. I love Matt Damon. I think he's great when he works with Christopher Nolan. And I don't even like Christopher Nolan that much. Like, I don't know how I feel about Christopher Nolan because he'll make like insanely good films like The Dark Knight Rises and Interstellar, but then he'll go on an interview and be like, "It's not about the film. It's not. You don't have to understand it. You just have to experience it." And it's like, no, shut up. like you're so pretentious. Gangster Squad. Fucking Ryan Gosling and Josh Brolin. The only thing like I think about when I think about this film is that one news story of Anna Kendrick being like, "I masturbated in the cinema to Ryan Gosling in this film." The film itself is super boring, so I don't know what she was thinking. She was probably just bored with the film. Game of Thrones. I saw the first season, I read the books. So peak. Like, it's just so long. But the first season was so good. The books are my favorite books. I don't want to talk about this one, but Frozen Planet. I don't know why I have that. It was probably cheap. Fault in Our Stars is really good. Like, if we're talking about sad movies, like, it's just so it exists to be sad. Like, the best sad movies are the ones that are just sad. But that one is like it's made to be sad. And the cop out at the end that's like you thought she was gonna die the whole time, but then he dies. It's like, I don't care. Especially when you cast fucking Ansel Elgort. Whatever. The Expendables. I haven't seen it. I don't like action movies. So I don't think I will see it. But I own it. Dunkirk is another great Christopher Nolan film that I think is underrated. Harry Styles is in this film. which is interesting. But the best part about this film is Barry Keoghan or Keoghan or whatever. Like, whatever Sabrina Carpenter, like, whatever happened with them, I don't give a shit. He's a great actor. This is an interesting one. Guillermo del Toro's Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. It's interesting because I have never seen it, but I own it twice for some reason. Whatever, you know? I can't talk about it. I don't know why I have it twice. Drive is what really got me into, like, Ryan Gosling's filmography. He's, like, the whole, like, I'm literally him thing. Whatever. I feel like it undermines how amazing he is, like, actually. Lars and the Real Girl, I don't have it, but that is the best Ryan Gosling performance, and it is one of the best performances of all time. I mean, what is this? I don't know what this is. I don't know how I came to be in possession of quite a lot of these. But Steven Seagal, I don't think I've seen anything with him. I know the name. Whatever. Blade Runner. Blade Runner is so good. It's Ridley Scott. He's super fallen off recently with Napoleon. And then, when Christopher Nolan released Oppenheimer, he was like, oh, you took this long to make one film when I've made 3 films in the same amount of time. Yeah, but they all suck, so it doesn't matter. Whatever. Blade Runner's amazing, but that fucking quote. I watched this film before I had Letterboxd. This film, it's so good. Like, it's ridiculous. The scene where they're sucking the life out of those, like, goblin things is ridiculously horrifying for a kid's film. The puppets in this, like, I love Jim Henson, but they're uncanny. I don't like them. I love the monster ones, but they're just the little, I don't even know what to call them, elves, that are gross. Black Klansman is the best Spike Lee film that I've seen. It is, this film, like it's the most powerful film I've seen in a while. Adam Driver is, he keeps surprising me because I keep feeling like I don't like him as much as I do, and then I'll see him in another performance and I'll be like, yeah, he is probably one of the best current actors going. Him in Marriage Story is insane. I don't know who plays, hold on. Yeah, John David Washington, same guy from Tenet. He's amazing in this as well. I just think everything about this film is perfect. And anyone, like, people always talk about that one scene where Adam Driver's yelling at the car. It's like, it out of context is funny, but in context is crazy. It is powerful. Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. This movie sucks. Alfred Hitchcock is so hit or miss, but this film, I bought this cheap for, I'm in a film club and we were watching this, so I was like, yeah, I'll buy it. I'll probably like it. It's Alfred Hitchcock. And then I watched it. I was like, why did I buy this? It's so bad. It makes no sense. He was just like, oh, what if like the birds was like killing us? It's so annoying. It's so dumb. It's so stupid. That film. Birdman is super impressive cinematography. Like, it's crazy. This film, I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to, like, spoil it, but the long shot in this film. Okay, this is underrated. It's the most underrated film. No, it's not. The most underrated film is It's Such a Beautiful Day by Don Hertzfeldt, but this one is close. Bicycle Thieves, by however the hell you say his name, Vittorio De Sica. Yeah, that one. He is just a genius. Like, the way... So it's set in, I think Italy, when jobs were super scarce, so everyone was, like, broke. But he gets a job that he needs a bike for, and then someone steals his bike. So the film is about him and his son trying to track down the guy who steals his bike, and it's so sad. It's so... Oh my gosh, that film was amazing. Okay. I hate this film. Battleship? Who was like... Battleship, the board game, that needs a movie. We need to make a movie about that. And you know what? Throw Rihanna in there. No. Why? And why is the cast so stacked, but not with like good people, with random people? Rihanna. I know Margot Robbie is producing a Monopoly movie at some point. That'll be... I'm gonna hold out hope, because like the idea of a Barbie movie kind of sucks. Like, oh yeah, we'll just make a movie about dolls, but the actual film was peak. So yeah. Clone Wars is one of the greatest shows of all time, from one of the greatest franchises of all time. This is just season 2. I have a few more seasons on DVD, but I love that show. That show got me through quarantine, to be honest. Battle Los Angeles? What? I don't know. It's not war, it's survival, apparently. There's your review of that one. This one confuses me, because it's called Avengers Assemble. But, like, that's not what the film's called, right? Is it just a Britain thing? Also, why is this poster so awful? Why are they all, like, edited in? This is, like, an actual thing that happened in the film. They could have just screenshotted it. Why they photoshopped them in? That film sucks so bad. Okay, I saw the original Avatar in the cinema, on a re-release for Avatar 2, and I loved it so much. Like, it was my favorite film for a while. So I got the Blu-ray, but then I saw this fancy schmancy Blu-ray. It's like, I'm not gonna get that all out, but there's a bunch of stuff in there. It's awesome. I love this film. It is a technical marvel. It is... wow. Like, people just call it, like, the Blue People movie, which, yeah, it is, but it's amazing. The second one is very good. It's not as good, but the first one is a perfect film. Like, better than Titanic from James Cameron. Nightmare on Elm Street. This is the first, like, 7, I think? Yeah, 7. Love the first one. The second one is good. Love the third one. After that, like, what even happened? Okay, yeah, the Dream Master and the Dream Child, like, it was like being waterboarded watching those movies. I don't know how I made it through. They suck. So boring. Wes Craven's New Nightmare is really good though. The 7th one. Yeah. Watch the first 3 and then don't watch the rest of them. Okay. I'm gonna put these together because I don't know what either of them are. The Adjustment Bureau and Amsterdam Heavy. What? Apparently that one was 17 quid. Definitely didn't pay that. I don't know what this film is. Okay. Okay. Alice Through the Looking Glass. I love the book Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, but I don't like either of Tim Burton's films. I don't like... Oh, Tim Burton. I have, like, strong opinions on Tim Burton, but if I get into them, it will take too long. Like, I've been recording for 40 minutes, which is crazy. It feels like I've been doing it for 5, and I have a lot more stuff to get through. So I'm just gonna move on from that one. Okay. So, my actual favorite horror movie of all time, that's like a horror movie, is Halloween. It is. I mean, it's John Carpenter's best film. Be real. It's, oh man, that just. It is. The music as well, the fucking. So. Just that song alone is 5 stars. I don't know what this one is. Hostel Part 3. I've heard of Hostel. I haven't heard of Hostel Part 2 or 3. But apparently I own it. So maybe I'll watch that at some point. Hugo? I think I watched this when I was like 5. Apparently Martin Scorsese film. Okay. Whatever. I'm kind of rushing through these now because like I think I have like 50 more or something. Independence Day Resurgence. I saw the first one. I haven't seen this one. The fucking tagline, the fucking "We had 20 years to prepare, so did they." Shut up. I mean, it's so funny when films don't have any 5-star reviews to put on the poster, so they're all like 4 stars from what is this? Empire Online. Oh, don't worry. 4 stars from Den of Geek. That's the stuff we should be trusting. Den of Geek. I obviously have the fancy Interstellar thing, but that is. I've already spoken about Interstellar. Okay, this is interesting. I have the first 6 Invisible Man films, including the Abbott and Costello one. The Invisible Man is the best, like, old Universal horror film. It is incredible. How did they make him invisible? It was the 20s. It was. Oh no, okay, I think it was 33. But this, I like when he takes his mask off and he's invisible, gobsmacked. Like, just how did they do that? I wouldn't know how to do that now, and it's 2024. It's been nearly a century, and I still have no idea how I do that. Crazy. I'm not sure what this one is. It looks interesting though. Like, I don't know. I've never heard of this film. The Nazis retreated to the moon. Never mind. It doesn't look interesting. It looks dumb. I watched this film when I was in like, oh, I don't know. I watched it when I was a lot younger, and it was, I was obsessed with it. I was like hyper fixated on it. I mean, it's great. Like I don't want to, I don't want to diss it. It's so good. I have it twice. One of the best horror films in the past like 20 years, I think. Yeah, no, that film is so good. Bill Skarsgård and what's his face? Finn Wolfhard. Like, take him outside of Stranger Things. Finn Wolfhard is a great actor. I mean, not recently. I don't know what he's done recently, but when he was a young lad, a young man, King Kong. Wow, like, the stop motion on this film. That's like his fur moves like with fingerprints on it, and I know that was accidental, but it is just the most gorgeous stop motion I've ever seen. It looks like he's really, I don't want to say like he looks like he's really moving, but it looks like he's real. Like, it looks like he's lifelike, because his fur is, oh wow. Okay, it's crazy. This film is so good. I was so hyped to buy that one, actually. Okay. Let Me In. That one looks interesting. I don't know. Maybe. Okay, that one looks okay. Actually, who directed that one? I don't know. Too many words. I need to get through stuff. The Kingsman. Ooh, I haven't seen The Kingsman. I saw Kingsman and I saw Kingsman 2, and I thought they were both great. I haven't seen this one. I know Rasputin is in it, and that's a good song, so maybe the movie's peak. Les Mis. I don't know. I have mixed opinions on this film. I watched it, for one, which is more than I can say for most of these, apparently. I saw it in the cinema. Okay, I'm gonna make a controversial opinion. I think the songs are, like, bad. Like, I don't like them. I liked one of them, but, ugh, just, like, a drag to sit through some of those songs. Knowing this is Nicolas Cage, I can only remember the fact that Nicolas Cage is in this film. I can't talk about this film at all. Don't worry though, Alan Frank said hugely exciting, gripped me from start to end, so I'm sure it's great. Lady and the Tramp, that's like the worst Disney film. like classic Disney, like 2D animation Disney. This is probably my least favorite one. Nothing happens. There's no villain. It's just Lady and the Tramp. Okay. So, I haven't seen either of these, but London Has Fallen and Olympus Has Fallen. Oh no! London and Olympus! Whatever. Gerard Butler's in it, which isn't a good thing. Lord of the Rings, it's been too long since I've seen... This is all of them. Like, I remember not liking The Hobbit, but loving Lord of the Rings. I need to rewatch them. This was quite cheap, I remember. I can't remember how much I bought this for, but it was from, like, HMV. Most of these from HMV. The Lost Boys trilogy. I saw the first one, and I loved it so much, but there's more. Like, yeah, like, they killed the vampires. Whatever. I saw this in the cinema as well. Oh my gosh. Peak. Okay. Mamma Mia the movie. I like how to the point this one is. Man on a ledge. The ultimate deception. The ultimate crime. Man on a ledge. Sam Worthington and Elizabeth Banks. Okay, that movie looked awful. But Meet the Robinsons. Yes. Meet the Robinsons is so good. It's underrated. This is the best Disney villain, by the way. No, I take that back. Tamatoa. But this is one of the best Disney villains. The fucking bowler hat man. The clip of him walking through the hallway, and they're like, "Do you want to come over later?" And he's like, "They all hated me." So good. Memento. Christopher Nolan. I guess I own, like, most of his films on Blu-ray, but Memento... Okay, I want to talk about, like, this DVD has a special thing where you can watch the film in the correct order, because Memento's whole thing is, like, it's backwards, obviously. You can watch it in the correct order. No, that ruins the whole film. I'm sorry, if you watch this film in the right order, it would be the most generic, boring-ass film ever, which is why I think Christopher Nolan really cheated us out on that one. He was like, let's just make a super generic, basic plot, and then put the film in reverse, and then, you know, people will call me a genius. And they did. So, yeah. No Man of God. I picked this up randomly. Like, I didn't know anything about it. It was on sale. And I bought it, and it's about Ted Bundy, which I didn't know. But I loved this film so much. Like, this is... I was so happy that I picked this film up. It's got Elijah Wood in and Luke Kirby. Luke Kirby plays Ted Bundy. It's so against Ted Bundy. Like, you know, like, that's not a bad thing. But I mean, like, if you watch it, it at first will seem like maybe it's being kind of apologetic to Ted Bundy, but it's not. If you watch it all the way through, it like it rails on him at the end. I'm not being like, oh, poor guy. This was another one that I picked up randomly because it was, I don't know, HMV has these like boxes of stuff and it's like an addiction for me. Like they're so, I gravitate towards them, but they're so expensive. This one came with a poster and it's on my wall. It's like a detective movie kinda. I'll show you this little book that it comes with. I'll flick through it actually. Yeah, I don't have much to say about it. It's pretty good. It's not great. It's good. This one I remembered, Oz the Great and Powerful. Disney was like, this is going to be huge. This is going to be the next big thing. And then nobody talks about it. Like, no one watched it. No one talks about it. James Franco's in it. And that's about as much as I care to say, to be honest. Okay. Pan is that one scene where Hugh Jackman comes out as Blackbeard and all the kids are singing "Smells Like Teen Spirit" is a masterpiece of cinema. And the rest of that movie is kind of mid. Pirates of the Caribbean, I don't know. Well, no one's going to see this video, and if they do, they're not going to watch 52 minutes in. But this is the most overrated franchise of all time. Like, actually, this whole like hour-long video is just me giving bad opinions that people don't like. Priest, never seen it. That looks interesting, I guess. It looks like The Matrix, but with priests. That's a priest on a motorbike, so I need to watch that film. This one looks super gimmicky. It looks like, you know, if you went to like a supermarket and got like, there's like a bargain bin of £1 films, and you'll pick one of them. It's like Land Shark, Cocaine Crocodile. This looks like one of those, so I will love it probably. Those films are the worst, and I love them all. Ooh. Okay. The Muppets is so good. The Muppets is peak. Jason Segel is, or Segel, or however the fuck you say his name. He's like the sweetest guy ever. I've not met him, but him in How I Met Your Mother is one of the best sitcom characters of all time. Marshall Erickson. R.I.P.D. It's a stupid movie. It's bad, but it's so funny. Like, you need to watch this film if you haven't already. It's Ryan Gosling dies, and then he gets recruited into this business where he's him and Jeff Bridges have to stop a demon Kevin Bacon from like destroying the world. It's ridiculous, and I love it. Speaking of things I love, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I know I've already talked about this trilogy, but Rise is great. The scene at the end where he whispers to James Franco, and he's like, "Caesar is home." Oh my gosh. Where Draco Malfoy is like, "Get your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape," and he's like, "No." Wow. Scream 4. I haven't seen Scream 4. I saw 1, 2, and 3. So I'm not gonna say about that one. Scream of the Banshee, no idea. It looks cool though. Directed by Stephen Miller. That name is familiar, but I don't remember why. Okay. I have both Sherlock Holmes and the second one. I saw the first one, and I loved the first one. Like, I thought it was genuinely really good, and I didn't think it was gonna be really good. But oh, especially after Holmes and Watson. Holmes and Watson is quite possibly the worst film ever made. I mean, I hate comedy movies and I hate Will Ferrell, but yeah, yeah, no, that film. Okay, we're nearly through. We're nearly done. Taxi Driver, a movie so good I own it twice. That film is. Martin Scorsese is a genius. This is his best film. It's one of his earliest films, one of, but wow, he's literally me. No, the I know it was super controversial because of the child prostitute thing, but like it's really good. Like don't let it put you off. However, this film, um, like it's funny. Like I feel so pretentious talking about comedy movies because they're funny. Like I can accept that this is a fucking funny movie, but it's not good. Like, I'm not going to give it a high rating just because I laughed. The scene where Liam Neeson, I think this might be the second one, but where Liam Neeson goes into the shop and he's like buying this cereal and he's like, so I will buy these and there'll be no trouble. So funny. But what am I going to do? Give it 5 stars because I laughed at it? No, I laugh at a lot of things that are bad. Whatever. Top Gun. I saw that in the cinema, back to back with the second one for a double bill. So fucking good. Like I didn't think it was gonna be that good, but this film, Tom Cruise, weirdest and like most iconic sex scene in a film though. That like crazy. This is the best film of all time. This is a masterpiece. It is the it's the most beautiful film I've ever seen. It is the saddest film I've ever seen. It is the film I most emotionally connect to. I cried, and it is perfect. And I'm so happy that I have seen that film in my life. It is. I don't even want to talk about it because, like, I feel like if somebody hasn't seen that film, they are genuinely missing like something from their life. But yeah. Okay. So X-Men Days of Future Past is I don't remember that one at all. I've seen this film, but I cannot remember. I own it on Steelbook. So that's pretty cool. I do remember, however, X-Men 2. X-Men 2. This is the one where Jean dies at the end. Yeah, I like this film. This is a good film. Okay. X. X is so good. Like, okay, in the trilogy, it was like X, banger, Pearl, one of the greatest films of all time, and then Maxine. Like, where did you pull that from? Maxine. Talking about Pearl, I have Pearl on Blu-ray, but I can't find it anywhere. But Pearl is really good. Pearl is. If you can class it as a horror film, it's one of the best horror films of all time. Transformers Dark of the Moon. Okay. Dark of the Moon, specifically this one, I love it. I love it. I love it. It's fucking Michael Bay being just batshit insane. And he's like, explosions everywhere. It's a bad movie. Like, it's bad. But I love it. The Vitch, I haven't seen it. But I don't know. I've heard it's good. Okay, last thing, because I can't find Pearl. This is the last one. West Side Story, and this is the remake, not the original. This film is so good. It's a musical, obviously. It is. Wow, I don't even know what I can say about this film. It's so good. It's Ansel Elgort, which is not a positive, but yeah, this is, I believe, one of the first scenes where they're like facing off. Okay, this video is really long. Okay, this video is so long, so I'm just gonna like stop. I'm not gonna do my DVDs. Oh, actually, there's one more. No. Oh, wait. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There's more. A few more. I'm glad there's more because I didn't want to end on this absolute shithole of a movie. X-Men Origins Wolverine is awful, and for every single reason that people say it is terrible, it is boring, and it shits all over one of the best superheroes of all time. Goofy scene. Okay. Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna end on a high note. I've got 3 more. James Bond. I've not seen this one specifically, but I like Daniel Craig as James Bond. I like James Bond as a character, and I think most James Bond movies are pretty great. Sleeping Beauty. It's been a while, but I remember really liking it. Like, as far as Disney 2D animation goes, I think this is probably one of the best. Like, yeah, no. Yeah, okay. This one, though, this one is underrated. This one came out, no one talks about it. I don't want to be like, oh, it's like a niche underground thing. Watch it, because I don't want it to be a niche underground thing. I want people to know about it, and I need people to see it, because it is better than most Studio Ghibli films. It is the best anime of all time. It is Suzume. It is gorgeous. It is beautiful. It is fantastic, and Grave of the Fireflies has nothing on it. Studio Ghibli is cleared by this film. Okay, yeah, that was it. I'm done. That was all of them. This is gonna take so long to put away. For some reason, if you watched like an hour and 5 minutes of me talking about movies, thank you. Bye.